This is the President of the United States, and this is his motorcade, his plane, and his entourage. If there's anyone else who gets this kind of VIP treatment, it's King Salman of Saudi Arabia. As the king of one of the world's richest monarchies, with a combined wealth of over $1 trillion, King Salman travels in style. He rolls with dozens of aircraft, hundreds of luxury vehicles, and thousands of assistants, family members, and servants, making sure he feels right at home, no matter where he is. And so in this video, we are going to be talking about how he travels, because why not traveling in style? What does traveling in style really mean for some? It's about flying first class or hopping on a private jet for others. It's all about staying in the fanciest hotels or sprawling in luxurious suites. The first visit by a Saudi ruler in almost 50 years. The last time a Saudi king set foot in Indonesia was way back in 1970 when King Faisal bin Abdulaziz visited President Suharto in Jakarta. This trip was expected to bring a massive boost to the Indonesian economy, with about $25 billion in investments. As expected, the media was all over it. But what really grabbed their attention wasn't the purpose of the visit. It was the shocking fashion the visit was done. His arrival in Indonesia was unlike anything ever seen from a foreign dignitary. After the Saudi royal family's Boeing 747 landed, King Salman didn't take the stairs down the tarmac. He used his own personal golden escalator. He was surrounded by assistants, diplomats, and the Saudi royal guard. In fact, his entire entourage consisted of about 1,500 people, including 25 princes and 10 ministers. And with that many people, you can bet there was a ton of luggage, 500 tons of it. So what on earth did he carry? Well, he brought a ton of stuff, but the real standouts were his Mercedes-Benz S600 limos and 2 gold-plated electric elevators. His cargo needed more than 7 planes to get there, including 2 Boeing 747-400s, 2 777s, 1757, and 27 37-800s. Plus, he had extra cargo flown in on a Lockheed C-130 Hercules, which is usually a military transport plane. The Boeing 747-400 usually packs in up to 600 passengers. But when it's decked out as a private jet for the Saudi royal family, it's a whole different game. Imagine plush carpets, silk upholstery, and gold-plated everything. There are private suites for the king and top royals, complete with king-size beds and fancy bathrooms. They got several meeting rooms with the latest tech so they can handle business midair. Plus, there are multiple dining areas where gourmet meals from top Saudi chefs are served. Entertainment, they got large flat-screen TVs and a huge music library. There are even dedicated prayer rooms for their religious practices during the flight. For security, the plane is packed with cutting-edge features, secure comms, and advanced defenses. The outside of the plane often has custom designs with the Saudi flag and royal symbols, making it instantly recognizable. There are also onboard medical facilities for any health issues, and with spacious lounges to kick back in. It's basically a flying palace. And here I thought getting a window seat when flying was the height of luxury. Even the richest and most influential leaders in the world opt for smaller aircraft to prioritize mobility and cut costs. But that's not how Salman rolls. And this is hardly the first time he has traveled in such extravagant fashion. Salman's visit to Russia in 2017, back when Vladimir Putin still had a better rep, he rolled out the red carpet for a very special guest, King Salman of Saudi Arabia. This visit was a big deal for a few reasons, including the fact that it was the first time a Saudi king had ever visited Moscow. The king took "make yourself at home" to a whole new level. Stepping out of his Boeing 747, he used his golden escalator to descend. But this time it stopped midway, making the king a bit uncomfortable as he had to actually walk down the rest of the way. The king also brought along a whopping 2,000 of food and drinks, a smart move, considering who he was meeting. And he didn't stop there. The king brought his own ultra-luxurious furniture, carpets, and decorations, making it feel like he brought a piece of Saudi Arabia with him. As you'd expect, King Salman's entourage was huge, with over 1,500 people needing places to stay. This meant booking out the 2 fanciest hotels in Moscow, forcing the usual wealthy Russian residents to vacate their rooms. On top of that, the king had the hotels redecorated to his taste, which meant flying in loads of golden ornaments and gold-colored furnishings on short notice. No problem as long as he paid. He did this fancy trip to Moscow reportedly cost the Saudi king a cool $3 million a night. And in Russia, people aren't exactly known for protesting. When the ultra-rich do whatever they want now, we may not understand why King Salman moves so lavishly if we don't talk about the House of Saud and how he rose to power. The House of Saud is by far the wealthiest family in the world, with a net worth of almost $2 trillion. You might think every member lives like a king, but with 15,000 family members, the wealth isn't exactly evenly spread. King Salman, however, gets the biggest chunk of this immense fortune. His net worth is estimated at around $18 billion, not too shabby for the 25th son of the former kings. So King Salman hasn't had much trouble becoming one of the richest people in the world. He was born on December 31, 1935, 3 years after Saudi Arabia discovered a massive oil reserve. By the time he was born, his father, King Abdulaziz, already lived in a palace with running water, lush green gardens, and electricity, the only residence with electricity in Saudi Arabia. At the time, Salman got a top-notch education at the prince's school, which Abdulaziz created especially for his sons. His brilliance was quickly noticed in 1954. He became the deputy governor of Riyadh, and 9 years later, he became the governor of the same province, a position he held until 2011, when he was named Crown Prince. Salman ascended to the throne in 2015 after the death of his half-brother King Abdullah. He then launched one of the biggest reforms in Saudi Arabia's history, boosting the family's fortune immensely. Today, they are worth approximately $2 trillion. The Al family is kind of what you imagine when you think of royalty. Their extravagant lifestyle and purchases could make even Beyonce and Jay-Z envious. Salman and his immediate family, of course, lived the most luxuriously, with golden cars, golden toilets, golden fixtures, and probably golden toilet paper. Too, the family's wealth comes predominantly from the oil and energy trade. Salman runs a number of highly successful oil, gas, and other energy resource companies worth trillions. The biggest contributor to the Al family's wealth is Aramco, the world's largest oil producer, accounting for 15% of the global oil supply. This energy giant is worth around $660 billion. Saudi Aramco now owns the world's largest single hydrocarbon network, the Master Gas System. With nearly 300 trillion cubic feet of natural gas reserves, their refining capacity is 5.4 million barrels per day, and they are expanding into petrochemicals to diversify the economy. The Crown Prince has boosted the Public Investment Fund (PF). In early 2022, the PF received 4% of Aramco's shares, worth about $80 billion, leading to investments in sectors like football, automobiles, and tech companies, such as Uber, Lucid Motors, Microsoft, and Alphabet. The PIF also acquired Newcastle United for $370 million in addition to their other ventures. The royal family boasts the world-renowned billionaire Al-Wali bin Talal, the grandson of Saudi Arabia's first monarch, King Ibn Saud. As of 2022, his net worth was $16 billion. He founded Kingdom Holding Company in 1980, which has investments in real estate, tourism, hospitality, entertainment, petrochemicals, technology, aviation, financial services, and media. The company has invested in top firms like McDonald's, Apple, Amazon, and eBay. It owns over 20% of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, and became the second largest shareholder of Twitter in late 2022. Additionally, the Al Saud family has stakes in major banks, telecommunications companies, and construction firms, among other businesses. They've got their fingers in so many pies, they probably don't even know what flavor they're eating. Can you imagine how different your life would be if you've had just a slice of this pie? Life of a royal. Many people can't even imagine what having a fraction of $1.4 trillion is like. If you've had just 1/10th of this family's wealth, which is around $140 billion, here's what you could do. Imagine Yankee Stadium filled with people, each worth $1 million. You'd be richer than all of them combined. You could buy every house in Wyoming and still be a billionaire. You can write every American a check for $150 and still have billions left over. Your days are free from the stresses that most people endure. No more annoying commutes or crowded offices. If you do work, it's likely from a state-of-the-art home office, and you're probably involved in managing investments, philanthropic endeavors, or passion projects. You can fund research, support causes you care about, and truly make a difference in the world. Building schools, hospitals, community centers, and supporting environmental initiatives are just a few examples of how you can give back. In short, having a fracture of the Al family's wealth would transform your life into one of unparalleled luxury, freedom, and opportunity. From daily routines to extraordinary experiences, every aspect of life and people close to you would be elevated to a level that most people can only dream of. As you can imagine, 5x this money gives King Salman a comfortable life. And by comfortable, I mean he lives not in one, but 3 state-of-the-art, ultra-luxurious, and opulent palaces. The House of Saud has built 12 magnificent palaces. For whoever sits on the throne, out of the 12, the 3 most luxurious are the Oyama Palace in Riyadh, the Eulalia Palace in Adira, and the Urga Palace. Palace is the stunning Al Imama. Palace is King Salman bin Abdulaziz's headquarters, right in the heart of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia's capital. This palace serves as both a working palace and the royal court. The outside is a mix of modern style and traditional Arabic design with geometric patterns and pointed arch windows. But it's the inside that really shows off King Salman's extravagant taste. Inside there are several magnificent chandeliers that could be considered art pieces on their own, lush carpets, ornate antiques, and lots of gold. It's tough to put a price on this palace, but it's probably worth hundreds of millions. We admire their luxurious lifestyle from a distance. I mean, what else could we do? But here's what you could do right now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to check out the other videos on your screen to see which one catches your eye. Thanks for watching.